Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking three incredibly fascinating scientific sources and snapping them together like pieces of a giant puzzle. We are going to map out the biological internet inside you. We're talking integrative medicine insights on your microbiome, cutting-edge MIT research on cellular metabolism, and deep cardiovascular data on immune responses. We're going to weave all of this together to reveal the complete picture of your body's communication web. It's going to be awesome.
So let's kick things off with a bit of a riddle. What do a leaky gut, a high-fat diet, and a stressed-out heart actually have in common? I mean, on the surface, a dietary choice, a digestive hiccup, and cardiac stress might seem like totally isolated events, right? But as we'll uncover today, your body absolutely does not operate in silos. It's all connected.
You know, there's this ancient wisdom going all the way back to Hippocrates that says, most disease begins in the gut. Well, modern science is proving that to be the literal starting domino in a massive systemic cascade. For the longest time, the medical world kind of just viewed bacteria as dangerous invaders. But today, we know that trillions of friendly microbes inside you push that very first domino, pretty much dictating a huge portion of your overall well-being.
To keep us on track, here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, the body's hidden web. Second, the mighty gut microbiome. Third, high-fat diets and cells. Fourth, heart stress and immunity. And finally, number 5, exactly how to restore that balance.
All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the body's hidden web, our very own biological internet.
Think about it like this. A trigger like a poor diet doesn't just stay parked in your stomach. It ripples out. It's a system-wide shockwave. An imbalance in your gut-brain axis, a glitch in the diet cellular network, or a sudden shock to the nervous immune system, it all spreads like wildfire. It literally alters your enzymes, drives up inflammation, and even completely changes how your heart handles stress. The deeper scientists look, the more they realize that gut health is tethered to pretty much every single network in your entire body.
Moving down into the microscopic world, here is section 2, the mighty gut microbiome. This is effectively the command center of the whole operation.
Let's talk about these tiny, unsung heroes called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs, like butyrate. These guys act as the absolute primary defenders of your gut's structural integrity. Here's how it works. Good bacteria feed on dietary fibers that your body just can't digest on its own. When they ferment those fibers, they produce these short-chain fatty acids. So, if your diet is lacking in fiber, those good bugs literally starve. They stop producing butyrate, and suddenly your gut's defenses are severely compromised.
And get this, roughly 90% of your body's mood-soothing serotonin is actually manufactured right there in your gut. No way, right? Other really vital neurotransmitters like GABA and dopamine are synthesized by your gut bacteria too. So when your gut balance gets thrown off, it disrupts how these crucial neurotransmitters are processed and sent up to the brain. That directly messes with your stress response, your sleep, and even your motivation levels.
And if that wasn't wild enough, an astounding 75% of our immune tissue is located in or around the GI tract. That means our gut microbes are literally constantly educating our immune system. They promote this delicate, healthy balance between regulatory cells and inflammatory cells. When that balance goes off the rails, that's when we start seeing systemic autoimmune issues and chronic inflammation taking hold.
Okay, let's zoom in even closer for section 3, high-fat diets and cells. Time to look at the cellular switches.
To really grasp some recent MIT research, we need to understand a process called phosphorylation. Try saying that 3 times fast. Essentially, think of phosphorylation as a rapid-fire physical switch. When your cells are stressed out by high-fat foods, they use this mechanism to toggle hundreds of existing metabolic enzymes on or off, almost instantly. Basically, eating a high-fat diet forces your cells to flip the exact same signaling pathways that are linked to chronic stress, rapidly changing how those cells behave.
Now, those researchers at MIT found a truly fascinating contrast here. This enzyme dysregulation caused major damage in males, while females actually adapted quite differently. In the male mice, the high-fat diet caused this slow, gradual drift away from normal balance right into a disease-like setting. They suffered from severe redox imbalance and a buildup of harmful reactive oxygen species. This caused cellular damage, leading to weight gain and insulin resistance. But the female mice, they showed a much better ability to compensate by turning on alternate pathways to process and metabolize the fat.
But here is the incredibly hopeful takeaway from that MIT data. By bringing in an antioxidant shield called BHA, researchers found they could actually counter that metabolic dysfunction and bring the tissues back to a level of normalcy.
even while keeping the mice on a high-fat diet. Just co-administering this antioxidant reduced those harmful reactive oxygen species. That led to a huge decrease in weight gain and actually stopped prediabetes in its tracks. It literally rewired the systemic enzyme response. A total game changer.
Next up, Section 4, Heart Stress and Immunity. Welcome to the adrenergic alarm system.
This next part perfectly maps out how a stressed heart acts as an emergency alarm system, releasing neurotransmitters that physically command your bone marrow and spleen to unleash an immune response. Let's just walk through this chain reaction. Step 1. Heart stress, say from a heart attack, kicks the sympathetic nervous system into gear. Step 2. This triggers an immediate release of catecholamines, which we usually just call adrenaline and noradrenaline. Step 3. Your bone marrow gets the memo and releases immune stem cells. And finally, Step 4. The spleen rapidly deploys monocytes straight into your bloodstream.
Now, while these immune cells are absolutely crucial for the initial cleanup of damaged tissue after a heart attack, an overaccumulation of them can actually worsen chronic heart failure. Think of neutrophils as your first responders, dropping in enzymes to quickly clear out dead tissue. Right behind them, inflammatory monocytes sweep in from the spleen to keep that massive cleanup effort going. But again, too much of a good thing becomes a problem.
And overseeing all of this are the beta-adrenergic receptors. They are literally the gatekeepers here, dynamically controlling the holding back or releasing of these immune cells. The big takeaway is that these receptors are directly listening to the nervous system's stress signals to manage this massive immune deployment. For instance, if you activate the beta-3 receptor, it turns down the stay-put signals in the bone marrow, letting a flood of new immune cells into your system. It's a highly coordinated brain-to-immune-to-heart communication web.
All right, we've gone deep into the dense mechanisms of your body's hidden web. Let's pull back for Section 5, How to Restore Balance, with some highly actionable interventions. Based on the integrative medicine findings, here is a rapid-fire checklist of 8 daily habits that directly reinforce your gut barrier and calm down systemic inflammation. You're going to want to focus heavily on fiber and resistant starches, eat the rainbow to get those polyphenols, and definitely enjoy some fermented foods. Pair that up with regular exercise, getting outside in nature, and actively managing your stress levels. Lastly, try to choose non-toxic cleaning products and use targeted probiotics when you need them. Doing this stuff daily builds a rich, diverse gut, which keeps both your immune deployment and your cellular health in check.
Actually, one of my absolute favorite brilliant little kitchen hacks from the research is cooling your starches. Simply cooking rice or potatoes and then leaving them in the fridge for at least 24 hours literally changes their structure. It creates the exact prebiotic fuel, resistant starch, that your microbiome needs to thrive. And the best part? Reheating the food later doesn't destroy this newly formed resistant starch, so you can eat it hot or cold and still be feeding your good bacteria. It's so easy. And remember that whole eat the rainbow advice? Well, this is exactly why it matters. Specific, brightly colored foods feed the exact psychobiotic microbes that protect your mood and your gut lining. For example, there's this crucial beneficial strain of bacteria called Akkermansia, and it specifically feasts on the polyphenols found in things like pomegranates and red apple skins. Studies have even shown that boosting your Akkermansia levels can improve depression-like symptoms, all thanks to that powerful two-way street we call the gut-brain axis.
I really want to leave you with this final thought to chew on, because as we've explored today, every single bite you take and every stressor you manage sends a loud and clear signal across your entire biological internet. Whether it's through those short-chain fatty acids in your gut, the rapid metabolic switches inside your cells, or those adrenergic receptors guarding your immune system, you have the power to influence this incredible network. So ask yourself, are your daily choices feeding a cycle of stress and cellular inflammation, or are you actively restoring harmony to your body's hidden web? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this empowers you to take charge of your health from the inside out.